feel like at the end of the day, people respect real. So when you're real with yourself and you are who you are, they might not like it or they might like it, but at least you know what you're getting.
Tahj McCall is a shooting guard for the Cairns Taipans. He's originally from a super tough district in Philadelphia that's filled with gun violence and hardship.
Honestly, it's just so like dangerous. Drugs, violence, projects.
In our conversation today, we discuss how he made it out of the neighborhood in Philly, playing in the NBA, tattoos, what his jersey number really stands for, and so much more.
It builds character when you use it for the right motivations and to find the joy in everything.
Trust me, you guys don't want to miss this episode, so stay tuned. Let's go, Rush! All right, ladies and gentlemen, we've got Tahj McCall in the building, thanks to Coco Sports Marketing.
Yeah.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Now, I want to start from the beginning. You're from Philadelphia.
Yes, sir.
What kind of neighborhood are you from?
I mean, a lot of people would call it a tough neighborhood, a lot of poverty, a lot of families though, a lot of kids. The murder rate's kind of high, a lot of violence, but it's kind of crazy because when you grow up in it, it's so normal that you don't know you're in a situation like that. Like something can happen and it's just what you expect to happen to a point. So it's real tough, but you find the joy in it. It's things you get closer to people because you go through so much and you see people go through so much. It's love there, even though it might not seem like it at times. You know what I mean? You just gotta find the joy in everything. But I think it builds character when you use it for the right motivations and to find the joy in everything.
So when you say it's tough, are we talking like gun violence?
Pretty much everything, honestly. Drugs, violence, schools, not a lot of money, a lot of families in small houses, projects, and it's crazy because it's not just Philly, it's a lot of places, but it's a tough environment because you don't get to see things that normal people get to see or feel things that normal people get to feel in a good lifestyle. And so you don't know that it exists. And so you live a long time without knowing that exists until you test the boundaries and go different places. But it's tough, but it's just what you go through. Everybody has their trials.
So when you say that is essentially normal for you, at what age did you realize it wasn't normal?
Probably when I got to college, maybe a little bit after college, yeah.
So that's what, 17, 18?
Yeah.
Wow.
100%. Yeah, because it's so no one really know that, hey, I could get on the plane and go here and see what that's like. Like, it's kind of scary to be different because everyone is in that situation and stays in that situation for most of their lives, and that's just what you're used to. So it took me to when I started playing basketball, and now I had to travel and I have to go to New York for school and things of that nature. It's like, oh, wow, this doesn't go on everywhere. You know what I mean? So that's pretty much what it took.
And how do you survive a situation like that, being in that environment? Did you have a strong role model, good family? Who was your
great
support?
family. Mom, dad, brother, grandmom, all of my life, super there, whatever I need. But like I said, you don't really look at it as surviving because it's normal. So it's just like, this is life. You know what I mean? Like, it's not surviving when you make it because it's something you have to do. But it's just my family, for real. They just showed me so much love and kind of, even when I was being stubborn, they pointed me in the right direction and stood firm on it. And I just trusted them that they never showed me pretty much like any bad as far as their love to me. So I just trusted what they said and couldn't anyone tell me differently about what they said.
And do you go back to Philly? Is your family still there?
My family is still there. I go back once in a while, see family, see friends, but it's just, honestly, it's just so like dangerous and just not many things to be positive about at the moment. So I try to stay away from that to keep a clear mindset. But then you miss that environment because that's what you know in your whole life. So I still have to go back and put myself in those situations and feel what I felt growing up and the people that I felt, you know what I mean? Like, it's my friends are still there. Like, I haven't been in a position yet to move my family out of there. So I always try to make sure that I go back and just remember where I'm from and who I really love and what started me.
And are you one of the lucky ones that made it out, or did you have a few friends that Do you have particular things that get out of the neighborhood?
Yeah, no. One of the ones that's like really out there, like, you know, Australia is really far from Philadelphia. There's not too many people that just go to Australia and live, you know what I mean? So in that sense, yeah, but I have a lot of friends doing good things and like moving around and networking and starting to get out that zone too. And so we're all like, we're on the rise, and people are slowly starting to get it. As much as like social media and different platforms, you start to see things that you wouldn't see every day, or you wouldn't know about credit, house, like stuff like that, loans, things you can do. See how like it's just different things that now a lot of people are getting into that is slowly but surely starting to break.
You didn't actually start playing basketball until you're 16, 17, right?
Yeah.
So what was the main sport for you growing up?
I didn't really, I mean, I did a little bit of everything, like just playing around with my bros on the, but I just liked having fun. Like we'll play manhunt, which is like freeze tag or something. We'll play frisbee, football. Like you was around them every day, all day. So it was really like my brothers, and we just, whatever we could find to make fun that day, we did. So I didn't really need a sport or anything. As long as I was outside with them, we could just be sitting on the block and I'd be Gucci. You know what I mean? Like it was cool for me. So I didn't really play sports unless it was with them.
That's crazy. So, I mean, at what point did you realize you were good at basketball?
So my dad loves basketball. And so I would go to the court when I'm with him, or cause he loves basketball. But I didn't really get good, honestly, until 12th grade. Like 11th grade, I played, but I was just a role player. I did my role really well. 12th grade, I played, and then I had to grow. And I just naturally, I guess I just got better. I don't know, I wasn't working out or anything. It just naturally got better. And then that's when like college offers, like those things started to introduce to me. Like I never played AAU or anything like that. But 12th grade and then going into college, I grew like 3 or 4 inches in that summer going into college. So then that's when I was like, it really kicked in, like, all right, you can do this. When I went to school for free, it was like, all right, let's take this serious.
And just going back to the Philly neighborhood, you actually played basketball on like milk crate hoops, right?
Yeah. You get the little crate from the store and cut the bottom out, and then you put it on the pole. If you got a square wood, you'll use that as the backboard, but if not, you just use the pole and you just hoop. It's just, I don't know, you just make do with what you got.
I didn't realize that was an actual thing, because I've seen in like Nike commercials and movies, but I didn't realize that was a real thing.
100%.
Ah, that's crazy. So look, when I think of Philly, I think of Allen Iverson, Will Smith. Who were your role models growing up as a kid? Like, who did you look up to?
Look up to was probably my dad. I don't know any of those guys, so I can't really look up to them because I don't know what goes on behind closed doors or what actually they're thinking or been through. I don't know their stories. So for my dad, my brother, people of that nature, but people that I like to watch or I like the way they presented themselves to me was definitely Allen Iverson, Will Smith, Kevin Hart. It's my guy. But yeah, pretty much those people. I would watch them a lot, but mostly Allen Iverson because my mom and dad loved them. So it was kind of like you had no choice in the household.
Yeah. And Philly's also got a really strong hip hop scene.
Yeah.
Meek Mill.
Uzi.
Who do you look up to in terms of, or who do you listen to in terms of music?
Meek for sure. Meek Mill, Uzi. It's a lot of young rappers that's rapping now. I haven't really tapped into yet, but I have a lot of Meek and Uzi in my playlist.
And before a game, is that who you're gonna listen to get you fired up?
So I'll probably listen to top 5 is probably Gunna, Youngboy, Lil Baby, Dirk. Yeah, if it's not them, I don't know. It's a lot of other people that I listen to, like certain songs, but those 4 is heavy in my rotation.
Yeah. Look, tell me what's the vibes, what's the mood? Yeah, I just hit a Mikey for the juice. Yeah, ain't no capping, I'ma tell the truth. I've been winning for so long, it's hard to lose.
Sorry guys, just a quick coffee break from today's interview with Tahj McCall to remind you to subscribe to my channel. I'm doing my best to create something special here for athletes and hip hop artists, not just in Australia, but around the world. Your support really means a lot. Let's go. Now, because you're from Philly, I gotta ask, Ben Simmons, what's your what's your thoughts on the whole situation? Because you would obviously know what it's like being from Philly and how the fans are.
Yeah,
And I mean, what's your take on the whole scenario?
I just think, like, most of the time when you go into basketball, you don't really get to pick the best situation. When you're at their level, that level that they're at, you don't get to pick the best situation for you where you feel like you would be the best at. So you get thrown in no matter what. And I just think his personality, I don't know him personally, but from the looks of it, his personality and that situation he was in just didn't mesh. I just think they both needed something different. So now I think they're both will be the best. The Sixers will be the best, and Ben will be the best with the Nets and the people around him. I really think he need those people around him that he's with. So it's tough to watch, and all I think about is the money, honestly, like all the money he's losing. But I think right now they both got the best was for them so they can be the best.
And you had a stint in the NBA.
Yeah.
Tell us about that.
Yeah, that was fun. It was literally a dream come true. Honestly, it's crazy when you think about it. It happened so fast that you don't even get to really like enjoy the moment because it's like your job. Like, all right, you check that box off. Now it's on to the next thing. Now you got to try to stay. So now that I think about it, it just happened so fast that I can't even really like tell you how I was feeling or what was going. It was like you get the call and you go through those emotions and then you right back at it. You working. But it was a blessing, honestly, and it kind of opened my eyes to what life could really be and what I can make out of it. And like if I really took it serious and gave it my all. And so from then on, it stuck with me.
And which team were you with?
Atlanta Hawks.
And how long ago was that?
Brooklyn Nets, sorry.
Brooklyn Nets?
Yeah.
Yeah, and how long ago was that?
I want to say maybe 2 years, maybe two or three.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And is there a particular moment that just stands out for you, like while you were in the NBA?
Honestly, for me, it was everything leading up to the game. Like I have been around the Nets players, and my brothers are like my real like who I call brothers. Were on the Nets at the time. Vert, Rondé, Spence, Jared Allen. Like it was a lot of guys that I'm actually like close to, and I was around them and built chemistry with and real friends. So we were in the locker room playing. We all got dressed before the game, taking pictures, shabazz. Like it was the moments that kind of I actually remember everything about them because that was like I'm with my brothers and I accomplished my dream and they right next to me. So that was probably the best thing for me.
And even though you're not in the NBA at the moment, I mean, what does that do for you mentally, just knowing that you're on a team for a short time and the scouts were looking at you, and now that you're in the NBL, does it give you like even more confidence knowing like I was in the top level in the world?
Nah, because I feel like that's what you did. What can you do? No matter where you at, it doesn't matter what you did because the where you're at now, we're all in the same bracket now. It doesn't matter if I played in the NBA for 10 years and I'm in the NBL now, we all in the NBL. It don't matter. So I just feel like when you start thinking like that, that's when you kind of get caught slipping because it's like you're taking it for granted now. And it's so much talent in the NBL and it's way harder than I thought it would be. So it's like I try not to never think like that. It's a blessing that I was able to do that and be in that elite group, and I want to get back if that's possible. But also, this is an elite group right here, and it's hard, especially like the players are good, the teams are good, the coaches are like it's a tough league. So I don't really focus or think about things in that nature. It's what can I do to be better now.
And did you ever think a kid from Philly, from a rough neighborhood, would be here in Australia playing basketball?
Nah, I honestly, I was a great student. Like I had scholarships to schools before I started playing. Like that was my focus, getting my grades. I had like 20 scholarships. Like I was a great student. Yeah, I was a great student. Like, cause I didn't play basketball, so it was like, my mom, you have to go to college. And you have to do these things. So it was like I was a great student and we didn't have the money to pay for it, so I have to have scholarships. Then I started playing basketball and talking to schools, and then that kind of happened from there.
Did you know anything about Australia before you came here?
What you see, it's crazy. I only thought Australia is what you see on TV. Like, you know, you have crocodiles, snakes, and people say mate. Like, that's literally all I knew. And then you get here and it's so much bigger and more diverse, and really like it's a whole different world, but it's so much more than what you normally see on TV, because you don't really hear about it where we're at because it's so far and it's so different time zones. But like, it's cities here. The people are super nice. The way it looks, the vibe, it's just, you get a little bit of everything. So it's been way different than what I thought.
And speaking of Crocs, you're in Cairns.
Yeah.
What's it like living up there?
Hot, humid. Like, literally, you have to take like 4 showers a day.
Damn.
You sweat. Yeah, you sweat doing everything. But it's beautiful in the same sense, because the people there are like, they really love Cairns. You can't tell them about Cairns, and anything to do with Cairns, they really support and get behind. So it's just a beautiful scenery once you adjust to humidity. And around this time of year, actually, it's getting a lot better, so you actually can enjoy the things, go on hikes, and you get to start doing those things and really appreciate it for what it is.
And Cairns has a really strong Indigenous community up there. Have you had a chance to learn much about Indigenous Australians?
So we went on a trip in the beginning of the year. One of our players are from Bamberga, and so we traveled this place in what's the name, up top in Australia, and we went there, and he kind of showed us where he's from, and we seen things they go through. I honestly would like to learn more about Indigenous Australians, because you don't really see a lot of that unless you're in it, and I just think it's a lot to be learned there, and kind of bring them along and meet them more and just get to know people, because I think people is like, we kind of forget about so many people, or not pay attention to so many people who we think don't matter, or maybe are little than us, or don't need the time in our day. And I feel like those are the coolest people and the ones you learn from and you can actually enjoy and bond with in the world. So I just think, in general, we should all learn about each other more.
Now, getting off the basketball court and stepping into the kitchen, I heard you're into cooking.
Yeah.
What kind of things do you cook?
So me, I'm not a fancy guy. Like, I'm not souffling or anything, but like salmon, Alfredo, burgers, chicken, like the little basic things I can add a little flavor to or a little twist to, but nothing too crazy. But I just love eating, honestly. Like, my dream job is if I could just go around the world tasting the best food, and just, that's my job.
Hey, well, YouTube show could be the next thing for you.
I would be with that 100%.
A question I'm keen to ask you is, if you had 3 people that you could invite for dinner and cook them anything, who would you invite firstly, and then what would you cook them?
Do they have to be alive?
Dead or alive?
Okay. 1, Fedora Nipsey Hussle. Yeah, I need him there. Barack. Yeah, I need Barack there. And then maybe Jay-Z and maybe Jamie Foxx.
Ooh.
Yeah, I just think, I don't know, I just think I would learn so much from them, and I just want to hear their stories and stuff. I just think they've been through a lot in life and have done a lot in life. And from what I know, I don't know them personally, but from what I can see, their morals look like they stand for the right thing and they care about the right thing for the most part. So I would just get to learn and just hear them talk and how they act, and just be around that type of energy.
And what would you cook?
Yeah, I probably had to go with salmon, probably some type of greens, broccoli. I'd probably go with Brussels sprouts or asparagus, and maybe some mashed potatoes, something like that. A little spiced teriyaki on the salmon, something like that. Maybe something light.
I thought you were going to say Philly cheesesteak.
Nah, I can't cook that. And it's crazy because you hear Philly cheesesteak in so many places, and none of them are actually like Philly cheesesteaks. I don't think you can replicate that.
Are they actually that good? Because I've been to the US a lot, but I've never been to Philly, and
Yeah.
I haven't had a proper, authentic Philly cheesesteak.
If you ask me, they are that good. You just have to go to the right place. It's more of the ones that no one know about that are the better cheesesteaks. But yeah, they are that good, but just not for your health. Don't go too often.
Now, another thing that you're into off the basketball court is tattoos.
Yeah.
And this is a new thing, right? Tell us, like, what sparked that interest?
It's crazy because I was joking with my coach. When I got out to Australia, I didn't have any tattoos. And now I'm trying to get a whole sleeve and like I'm gonna go back home a completely different person. But I've always liked tattoos and liked the way they look on people and just they look really cool. Like I love art. I love dance. Like I love watching dance and listening to music. That's all I do all day. It's just watch things that's creative and art. And so I've always loved it, but I've never had a reason to get a tattoo. Like for me, it just wasn't anything that I thought I needed or wanted at the time. It's just nice to look at. And then my best friend passed, I want to say a year ago, or maybe a year and some change. And that was like it don't feel real that he's not with me anymore. So it's just like, I don't like really expressing my emotions or letting people know how I feel because I feel like everyone has their own problems and no one really cares. Like you just have to deal with it. So it's like, I just needed to do something that made me feel like he was still with me and I still would see him a lot and still could talk to him and stuff. So I got him tatted and that was my first tat. And so now it's like I'm getting things that mean something to me and touch my heart. So it could be art and creative, but it hits home for me. But that was the reason I really got into tattoos for me. So this is my best friend. This is DJ. Literally my next door neighbor. Like this is his house. And this is my house. We literally used to, like, I know if he up or not because he'll knock on the wall. And our bedrooms is right next to each other. So he'll knock. And if I knock back, then I'm up. If not, then I'm asleep. So, yeah, this was just like my guy. And I put loyalty right here because I don't know, I just feel like he was more loyal to me than I was to myself at times. And so that's why I kind of miss him the most. It was just like, that's rare to find nowadays. And so, yeah, I had to just get him and start my tattoo. So now I see him every day. Every time I look at pictures from basketball and stuff, like I leave his arm uncovered just so I can see him in every picture. So, yeah, I miss my guy.
And while you're here in Melbourne, you're getting a tattoo?
Yeah.
What are you gonna get done?
That's the plan. So I was getting my city skyline and bridge. And then 215 under it on my arm. That's our area code.
205.
215.
Oh, 215.
Like, yeah, it's in my Instagram. Like, Philly is really like who I am. So I just be Phillied out every chance I get. So yeah, I'm gonna get that on my arm.
So if you could wear a jersey, you'd be 215?
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
And you wear number 22?
Yeah.
Is there a reason behind the number?
Yeah, someone special kind of put me on. And she just explained what it means to me. It's an angel number. To me, it's like you're on the right path. You're doing things the right way. Like you trust what you're doing and keep being a good person and putting out good energy. And where you're supposed to be, you'll be at. And so it's just stuck with me. And it's kind of crazy ever since I changed my number to that. Life has just gotten better and better. And it's not even having to do with basketball, just me growing as a person, the people that I've met and are around me now. The situations I'm in, the people that I'm able to help and kind of give them the knowledge that I've learned from people that are in great places, bad places, whatever it may be. But just life has been going up and it's been more so in my mindset, my body, my mind, my energy, my soul, just things of that nature. So it's probably one of the best things that happened to me. Is
that because you're out of Philadelphia now and you can be a little more vulnerable? Because growing up in a rough environment, like you've got to be pretty tough.
Yeah, but I was always, it's kind of weird. I think this is why I am who I am. I was always able to be me. Like, I listen to Adele. I do things that's not typically normal where I'm from, but people understand that it doesn't say anything about me. I just like learning things. Like, I feel like you don't know what you like until you try it. So I'm willing to try it to see how it sounds, what it looks like, how it feels. But I've always known how to adapt to my situations, and people understand that. So I was always able to be vulnerable in Philly because they still understood when it was time to stand. I'm always standing on what I'm supposed to stand on, 10 toes down every time. So for me, it's like second nature. Like, if I like Adele, I'm going to listen to Adele, whether you're in the car or not. Like, I don't really care. You can think what you want to think. I like who I am. I like what she talks about. I like the message and what she's went through. And it kind of like, it's therapy for me because I don't really talk, like I said. So it's when I'm listening to it, if I'm up, I'm probably listening to some music that's turned up because it's like this is how I'm expressing how I'm feeling most of the time. So yeah, it could be hard, but I feel like at the end of the day, people respect real. So when you're real with yourself and you are who you are, they might not like it or they might like it, but at least you know what you're getting from that person. You know what I mean? And at the end of the day, if you're real and you're genuine and you're confident in who you are, no matter what one person thinks or likes has no effect on the person they are, the relationship that y'all can have. You know what I mean? So I've always banked on the people that's supposed to be around me will naturally gravitate towards me because my energy is always, my heart's always in the right place. It's not like I'm doing something to have a negative impact on someone else. So if you don't like it, then it's just we don't get along, and there's no problem with that. You don't have to get along with everyone in the world. You just have to be a good person to everyone in the world.
I like that, man.
Yeah.
And you said you don't express your feelings too much.
I know, this might be the first time. That was a lot. I had to take a breath after that.
Now, another thing that you're into is fashion.
Yeah.
So let's talk kicks. What shoes do you like wearing on the basketball court?
So right now, I'm heavy Giannis, the Freaks, the Uno ones. They're just so comfortable. They're probably the most comfortable right now for me. There's one sneaks I'm trying to get that I mean, everyone has them. If like the Grinches, the Kobe's.
Oh,
Yeah, I need them before. Like I have to have a pair of them. Any Kobe's really. And then, yeah, Giannis's, and maybe I like the Durant's too. I used to like Paul George's, but I don't really like the way they feel anymore.
And off the court, what kind of shoes do you wear off the court?
Oh, man. I like finding stuff that's different, but also, like I'm not one of the hype beasts. Just because everyone has it, I'm not just going to go buy it because everyone else has it. I have to actually really like what I'm looking at, and so I wear anything from Nikes. I even seen some Skechers that I liked the other day, and I was like, I might wear those. That's a little bit pushing it, but Nikes, Dior's. I like red bottoms a lot. Kind of expensive, I'm not gonna lie. So I try not to get dressed a lot. That's why I'm in these slides right now because it's kind of expensive taste. But it's so much. Even brands that's not like known. There's so many brands. Like I traveled to France and I know people from so many places of the world, and you learn about so many things fashion wise that you didn't even know exist and that most people don't know exist. So it's like right now my palette is so broad that I really like, I have to just like what it looks like and how it would look on me, and then I'm in.
So you're here in Melbourne playing a game tonight.
Yeah.
Give us a breakdown on the daily routine, like leading up to a game.
So it's two different. A home game and a away game is kind of different because home, you don't have to travel. You're in your own place. We go to shoot around the same time in the morning. You have to have breakfast before shoot around, watch film before shoot around, go to shoot around, do what you do and shoot around, get your extra shots up at the end, whatever you do, stretch, whatever that may be. And then I come back, I shower, eat pregame lunch, and then I got to take a nap after the food. That's why I love eating, because I get to sleep afterwards. Take a nap, wake up, probably listen to music on blast, just get up, then brush my teeth, shower again probably, and get ready and put some more music on. We get to the gym. I go to the court before everything starts. Just get a little sweat going, workout, come back. Then you do your treatment, your correctives and things of that nature, like really prepare your body for what it's about to go through. Then back to the court for a vitamin, free throws. Then we watch film again. Then you got to get ready again. Then you actually play the game. Then you got to recover after the game, stretch. It's a long day, and then so that's a home game. Away, same thing, really, just different times because you getting in at different times and you can't eat the same thing. You don't know exactly because you're going to different places. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So it more could vary on the road, but that's pretty much a day of a game.
Man, I'm exhausted already.
I know. It's a lot.
And are you someone that, when you're not playing basketball, like you hate talking about basketball and don't want to watch it, or you just live and breathe it?
Yeah, I love it. We could talk about basketball all day. Like, it's just, like I said, I like art and creative things, so I look at it in a different lens. It's not like it's something I have to do. It's something you're creating. And then when you watch other people create it in ways that you can't, you admire it, or you want to learn from it, and you want to see what can be better and what can you take and what can't you take and how could you make it better. So it's just, I feel like any chance I get, I want to talk or watch basketball, as long as it's good basketball, and not even the players, just the way they treat the game and the way they're playing the game.
What are your plans for the future? Like, do you see yourself staying in Australia for a little bit longer?
I mean, yeah, I love Australia. I could 100% stay here. Like I said, it's so much more than what I thought. And the people just are so nice, especially in Cairns. It's like they show so much love, and you're not used to that growing up where I grew up from. Like, you get love from your family and from your friends. And if you're not in that circle, then it's like, I don't have anything to do with you. So I don't, like, that's just how we live. And so now you get that from strangers, you get that from just going to the market, get that from people who take time out their day to make sure you're happy when it has no effect on their day. And so you make you appreciate that more. And so Australia is kind of like hit home with me, and my coaches and my teammates and the people that I've been around has really made me enjoy it, and I've learned so much. So I could see me staying in Australia probably for my career if it was the case, maybe, and Australia would let me 100%.
Oh, that's dope. And look, a few quick questions before we finish up. Best piece of advice someone has given you?
Like, it's not a quote or anything, but it was just the message that I received. And it was, so my whole life, I want to be perfect. I want to be the best at what I do. And so I work hard for what I do. And you feel like you should be in certain places when you put the work in. You feel like you know where you should be or what you deserve or what someone else don't deserve. And it's like, I was in that mindset in my career and just as a person. And now I've learned, someone told me, everyone goes through what they go through for a reason, but you don't know what your blessing is or what your future is. So you have to stay focused on your journey. You can't worry about the next man's journey. And so now it's just like I try to enjoy every moment of where I'm at instead of where I want to be. Because all I was thinking about was where I want to be. So when something didn't go right or something did go right, the only thing I'm thinking about is this helping me get where I want to be? And so now it's like I'm enjoying actually what I'm going through. I'm enjoying the craft. I'm enjoying the struggles. I'm enjoying the great things. And so now I can really stop thinking and just relax and enjoy what I'm going through. And so that was the biggest thing for me that changed my whole mindset on life. Just enjoy whatever it is you're going through, because you don't know what the next person went through or why they need that or why that happened for them. You're going to get what you're supposed to get when you're supposed to get it.
And in terms of getting advice, do you listen to podcasts, YouTube shows, anything that you can recommend?
Not so much advice. I like listening to, like, honestly, my laugh. I like listening to little boozy podcasts, Young Thug, Nipsey. Like, and it's more so because I like the morals those guys stand on. And I listen to a lot of guys that's like, I stand on morals and principles. Like, I don't really judge if you're right or wrong. I just feel like if you stand on what you believe in and it's not disrespectful to others, then I can be around that because I know what I'm getting from you. I know what you care about, what you don't, how you're going to react to this situation. Like, I don't have to tiptoe. And so I feel like a lot of people change what they stand on and their morals when times get tough. Like, characters really get tested in tough times, and the people that stand on what they stand on, whether it's beneficial to them or it hurts them, I feel like those are genuine people and strong people. And so I watch those type of guys because from what I can see and what I hear, they model that. But basketball podcasts, I can watch that all day because I just love basketball. I remember I watched a Dame Lillard. It was like an interview, but they was just sitting talking, and they were watching his highlights and what he was thinking about and why he did what he did on certain plays and how he was watching them guard them and things and how he see the game. And it kind of like blew my mind because you don't even think of some of the things he's thinking of, and you like, damn, you did all that in that little bit of time and made it work, and it looked like that. So just learning. I just like learning people. People's stories are so cool when you give them a chance to tell their story, how they seen it and how they felt they went through it. And it open your eyes to things you take for granted or you don't even take a second to think about. And it's like, damn, that happens to people, or people go through that, which is way worse or way more difficult or even better. And I want to be there, you know what I mean, to go both ways. So I just think the more you talk to people and the more you get to know people, the better you are as a person because you can understand more.
Well, Tahj, thanks so much for coming past, man. I've really enjoyed this.
No, thank you for having me.
You're a chatterbox, man.
Nah, you made this easy, man.
And before we finish, social media, where can people follow you?
215 Tahj on Instagram and Twitter, I think. Yeah, Philly, Fedor.
All right, and good luck for tonight's game.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.